everybody! I hope you had a great week. This week we're going to talk about one of Jesus' parables, the stories Jesus told to teach us something. So let's go ahead and listen to the story. Jesus often told parables to make people think. This is a parable Jesus told us to think about what obedience means. What do you think? Asked Jesus. There was a man who had 2 sons. He went to the first and said, "Son, go and work today in the vineyard." "I will not," the son replied. But later he changed his mind and went and worked in the vineyard. The father went to the other son and said the same thing. "Son, go and work today in the vineyard." The son answered, "I will." But having said he would work, the son did not go to the vineyard. Jesus asked, "Which of the 2 did what the farmer wanted? Who do you think obeyed his father?" The crowd said, "The first son." Jesus said, "People who start life behaving badly are turning to God and obeying Him. It is important to turn to God and do what He says." So this is a really interesting parable. So the first son says, "No, I'm not going to do that." And then thinks better and thinks I should listen and goes and works out in the field. But the second son says, "I'll do that for sure." But then he goes and rests and he doesn't work at all in the field. So Jesus asked who the people thought did what the father wanted. And they all said the first son, the one who said no at first, but then went out and worked later. And the second son didn't do anything. The first son maybe didn't hear what his father was saying at first, but came around and did exactly what he wanted. While the second son said, "Yeah, I'll do that," but then did the exact opposite. So that's sometimes how we act towards God as well. Sometimes we hear what God wants us to do or what we should do in the world, and we go, "No, we're not going to do that." But then later, maybe we realize that's what we should be doing. And then there's other people who say, "Yeah, I'll do that," but then they don't go and show God's love in their lives. So it all comes down to what we should do and what we know we should do in our hearts. We know we should listen to God and go out and show God's love in the world. And that goes with our whole faith story. Some people don't maybe know God at the beginning of their lives, but they come to know God later in their lives. And those people are just as valuable to God as people who've been going to church and loving God their entire lives. What matters is they've come to know and they've come to love God at some point in their lives. We're going to make a craft about listening to Jesus. We're going to make an iPod, which I don't know if some of you will recognize the craft we make today, but I think it's a really cute craft. For this craft, you're going to want a couple different colors of construction paper, a couple beads, something to write with, some pipe cleaners, scissors, and a glue stick. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut my construction paper in half. So this is pretty big. I'm going to even that up a little bit. It didn't cut quite straight for me. There we go. And then I'm going to take my other color of construction paper and I'm going to cut out a rectangle. And then I'm going to cut it so it kind of fits in the middle. And then I'm going to glue it down. And then I'm going to take the rest of that color and I'm actually going to cut out, I'm doing my best to cut out a circle. And then I'm going to glue that down underneath the first one. So this is my iPod. I'm going to put a circle in the middle of this because that's kind of how the iPod buttons used to look. You may not recognize this because it's kind of old, but that's what they looked like, a little bit like a Game Boy. Then I'm going to make my headphones. So I'm going to take my pipe cleaners and I'm going to fold the corner of my paper over and I'm just going to cut a little hole. And then I'm going to slide my pipe cleaners through it. So on this side, I'm going to fold my pipe cleaners a couple times so they can't fit back through the hole. And then I'm going to put my beads on the end and fold them over to kind of make my earbuds. So there's my iPod, and then I'm going to write on the screen, listening to Jesus. And then you can decorate your iPod however you want. I'm going to put a little heart underneath Jesus. So I hope you had fun making your craft this week. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in Sunday school. Bye!